Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Cast Track. Thank you for subscribing, liking, and sharing this with your friends. Today's episode is with my dear friend, Ashley Tedham. Ashley was born right here in Calgary, Alberta. She has a beautiful little 1.5-year-old girl named Astrid, who's so cute, and a loving partner, Jesse. Besides Ashley's loved ones, Ashley's passionate about empowering younger people, building meaningful community connections, and just being with the people that she loves to make sure they're all taken care of. So nice. Friends, you'll find her full bio attached. Ashley, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. It's great
For
to
sure. I'm so excited. I can't wait to hear your 3 things.
Yeah.
So tell us what the greatest challenge has been for you in the last few months.
Ooh, well, like you said, having a 1.5-year-old, I got back from maternity leave on March 10th, and then the world shut down March 13th. And we were, as a family kind of faced with this, okay, how do we cope? How do we manage? And I think that, my personality is do it all perfectly. And so that sort of the biggest lesson that's come through this period is just learning to accept, your own limitations and being at peace with what is. And that has been complete, like it's been a real gear change. I think for those A types too, it's like if your house isn't clean and every email isn't answered in a day, then, life continues and it's okay. And you just have to kind of focus on what's the most important. So yeah, coping and just accepting has probably been the challenge in the last couple of months or 6 months.
I share that with you, that surrender piece.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And you have to do it every day and sometimes multiple times a day.
Yeah.
And just breathing through it, that power of breath and prayer and like just taking a moment to step back and say, this is okay. Everything is going to be okay.
For sure. Mm-hmm. Awesome. Thanks, Ashley.
Yeah.
What about the 3 things that you want to share with us today?
Oh, okay. So I wrote a couple of notes down because I didn't want to forget, but I think the biggest takeaways for me when I'm thinking about what to leave with people is that opportunity is everywhere. And I think there's a tendency in trying to cope and manage everything where you feel really defeatist and you feel like giving up, even if it is just answering emails and cleaning your house, but there is opportunity everywhere. And I think that Calgary is a place that highlights that, certainly. And then just to embrace and be open to those opportunities that may look a little different than what you're used to. And then I would say the second thing is definitely to give to others in whatever way you can, big or small. I think a lot of my actually joy and peace has come from that simple exchange of supporting and giving, whether it's, muffins or groceries or a letter, sending a written letter is something that I've done for the first time in a long time, just because you couldn't meet people face to face. So the giving part is huge, and anybody can give in any way. Even in our program at the Duke of Edinburgh Award, we've been trying to figure out ways for kids to do community service online. And there's millions of things that we can do, once we kind of look outside of our normal day-to-day. And then the third thing is a big thing for me, and something that has been really heavy on my heart is put your devices down, close your computer, turn off the TV, stop watching Netflix. Put those security settings on your social media, on your phone, and just be present in the world around you. I think there is a hyper tendency for us, and we're forced to at the moment, just engage virtually, which is important, but I think you have to put those limitations around them, to really just be outside and be face to face with your family. And when you're with your family, don't put a screen in front of, in between you. That's a really, I think, powerful thing that we have to work a lot harder to do now, but I think is really important. So there may be simple things, but they're big on my radar at the moment.
I love it. So when I inserted my cell phone into my arm in the last couple of months, that wasn't a good thing. No.
We've all been there. I think those things are probably the things that need to be cleaned more than our hands.
That is right. Yeah, we wash our hands and then we go back to the cell phone.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's good advice, Ashley. Thank you.
Yeah.
What about the legacy or gifts or opportunities or anything in closing?
I thought a lot about this too, because thinking about what's to come, you know, for myself and for my family, I think legacy is something that you only realize you've achieved in hindsight. I think, you know, I certainly try to show up at work and for my family and friends every day the best that I can. And I think that is a simple but strong, you know, legacy to live by, I guess. But I think in the big picture, I think we're really at a cool time in history. It's a hard time for sure. But we have this opportunity to reinvent ourselves, and it isn't the first time the world has had to do that. And certainly even in our small community of Calgary, you know, globally, I'm used to looking at the world globally, but I think sometimes that's overwhelming. It's just, I think, really important now to be open to change and transformation, to seek new opportunities, to accept what is, and to try new things, you know. And I think that's part of the legacy of Calgary, you know, being a Calgarian. I'm very proud to be a part of this community where we're all there for each other, no matter what. And it doesn't matter what comes at us. We just find a way to just say, okay, this is what is, and now what's going to be, and just move in that direction, whatever it takes. You know, I see a lot of people transitioning from, you know, oil and gas to baking, or to data science, or, you know, to dog walking, and those are small things, but I think collectively, I've been reading this book called Atomic Habits, and the premise is really just like, big things don't happen overnight in big ways. It's these small little changes and small little things that you can do day to day. Even if it's just like 5 minutes of meditation in the morning, it has a transformational impact. So I think, you know, what's to come in the opportunity, all of that is going to happen in those little day-to-day positive movements towards something. It's not going to happen overnight, but we can't give up, right?
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. I mean, look at some of the grand things that have been built in history pre-machines, the pyramids, right?
I know.
Yeah.
I think we forget what we're capable of.
Yeah.
We become complacent. You know, we get so used to that day to day, okay, I can turn my brain off and I just have to get all these things done, and you race towards the end of it. I think these opportunities and time really force us to go, wait a minute, what is important? How do I get there? And where can I start? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love it.
Lots of hope there.
I love your messages, Ashley. Thank you so much for joining us today. I really appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure.
All mine, my friend. Everyone, that was Ashley Tedham with the Duke of Edinburgh, which is a great program and has been around for years and years, doing great work. In fact, I'm just going to do a little plug right now. As a headhunter, seeing anyone with on their resume that has Duke of Edinburgh awards, I've always paid special attention to them. So a wonderful day to you all, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.